what we do is we look at how technology affects people's behavior, but we also look around how technology also is affected by people's behavior. So it's this kind of two-way dialogue. And we're not particularly interested with being innovative when it comes to technology. What we like to do is actually misuse technology as much as possible. So we love taking stuff that's meant for one thing and using it for something completely crazy. I'm going to talk about two projects, if the microphone... Is it misusing the technology? Yeah. Hang on. All right. Okay. This is getting good. Yes. So I'm going to talk about two projects that we've done. I'm gonna talk about two projects that we've done. The first one is upstairs. If you go up the stairs and along here, so it's just basically behind that wall somewhere, which is called the Voice Harvester. So what I'm basically going to do is talk about how that project was given to us and the way we approached it. So the first thing was that this guy, Anders Lind, came to us and he said, yeah, I've got this idea for a concert for the culture year, and this is last year. He said, and I was wondering, could you make me a thing? And we said, well, you know, things are what we do, so that sounds good. Then he gave us the brief. And, oops, sorry, me too fast on the button. So he gave us the brief, which was this. Create an interactive object that will elicit operatic vocal performance from the general public of Umeå in a public space. And we basically said, you're a friggin' idiot. Because anyone that lives up here knows that the dialect word for yes is that's it. That's what you get. There was a guy who did a culture program on different dialects around Sweden, and he went up to two guys who live near a lake, just inland from here, and they recorded 2 days worth of stuff with them, and they had to use everything they said in 2 days, and it only filled 10 minutes. So, I mean, these two guys would sit there and go, fish, and the other guy would go, and that would be it for the next hour. So we had a real problem. It's like, how do you get people to do something they're really, really uncomfortable about doing in a public space in front of a lot of other people? So we had a chat with Anders, and basically what he was looking for was this. So he said, well, you can get a microphone and a screen, and then when people talk into the microphone, something fun will happen on the screen. And we went, that's really interesting, Anders. Yeah, that would be really good. Nothing against Anders, but we've seen so many screen-based interactions that we're just getting really, really saturated by them and really fed up. So we said, there's something in this idea, but like if we could imagine that the pixels on the screen were actually hair follicles, you hanging with me? And like when you interact with them, you get this kind of like really nice growth of hair out of the screen, and you can run your fingers through it, and you can smell the shampoo, and it becomes this very, very kind of tensile thing. So that's what we want to do. Obviously, we can't do this with a screen yet, but we did solve it, and what we did is we actually built this thing. Okay, so, and this is upstairs, so please go and try it. It's much more fun than it sounds. It's basically 3 tubes with some material in them and 3 microphones and a couple of amplifiers. That's all. It's like so stupidly simple, it's almost embarrassing. But it really works. Basically, Anders said to us, I'd like to put it out there for 2 weeks, and if I can get 200 usable samples, I'll be really, really happy. We had it up at the university just to test it, like just a tech test, really. And the idea was it was going to be up there a week. They phoned us after 2 days and said, get that out of here. Because basically in the building where it was, no one could work because there was just all this insane noise going on. And basically in 2 days, they pulled 5,000 usable samples from it. So he actually had to get a guy to write an algorithm to pre-sort all those samples for him. I'm going to show you a little video for those that can't be bothered to get the lift up to the next floor and go and try it themselves. The thing that's quite good about this video is it actually shows how we developed the idea. So we basically put a bucket on top of a speaker and then chucked stuff in there. So I went out into the town and basically got as much material as I could find. So Jerome, who's sitting there, he knows we're like completely insane. We were out buying blue glitter and all sorts of weird things. So this is actually vegetable oil that they're using at the moment, or we're using. There's Anders. This is blue glitter from a hobby shop. And the next material comes up is actually the one I think is the best. And I dare anyone in the audience to guess what it is. This. Any ideas? It's actually paprika powder and turmeric. So it smells really good as well. So basically we built this thing. It's just arrived back from Berlin where it's been for 6 months. And this is what it sounds like when people are using it.
Suveränt och originalt. Vi kan köra på allihop.
Okay, so it gets very loud and it gets very unpleasant, but it's great fun. We think what's happening there is people get so distracted by seeing the material that they actually forget what they're doing. The best I've ever seen, which was the water flying up to a height of about this. Okay, you'd think big, burly kind of guy. It was a 2-year-old girl who was, like, her dad was holding her and she just leant into the microphone and screamed down it and seriously deafened us for about 3 days. So kids love it. We like putting it into museums and then saying, please run around and scream as much as you can. It's good fun. So that's upstairs. Please go and try it. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the ignorance guitar. The reason it's called the ignorance guitar is it was designed from a spirit of total ignorance. We had no idea what we were doing. We still don't. The thing was that we had a laser cutter. Laser cutters are really fun things. So we were kind of sitting around saying, well, we have to learn how to use it. What could we use it for? So we basically found a heap of really cheap, nasty plywood. And we basically designed a guitar and then cut it out. So it's 8 sheets of plywood, as you can see, being cut out here. And then we clamped them together and glued them with normal wood glue. And it ended up looking like this. And then we've basically done some weird things with the electronics. So I put a piezo microphone in it. Because we're ignorant idiots, it's not really working properly. But I'm going to demo it anyway. But we still don't quite know what it is. Oh, and we did a logo as well, because you've got to have your own name and logo on it, of course. Anyway, so that's it. And the finished item looks like this. And we've made a special Perspex cover for it. Normally we have a wooden cover so you can't see the inside. And I don't normally play in front of people, but I'm going to do it now. Because I can't hold the microphone and play at the same time. I'm going to go over to the real one. That's all you get. But that was just to prove that it works, and it actually sounds surprisingly good. It's all from me. Bye. And if anyone wants to play this, it's going to be up in the room right at the end where anyone can go in and jam. So as soon as we're over here, we're going to move everything up there. So you're very, very welcome to have a go on it yourselves if you want. Thank you very much.